During One Piece chapter 1148, we all witnessed something truly unprecedented. Scopper Gaban, the legendary left hand of the Pirate King, had delivered a slash which ended up severing Saint Sommer's arm. For the first time in One Piece, we had actually seen the Holy Knight's immortality fail them. The arm didn't end up regenerating instantaneously, and the wound didn't even close up. Summers looked down in genuine shock, muttering, "What? I'm not regenerating, what's going on?" This single moment represents the most major power revelation since the introduction of Haki itself. Throughout the post-time skip, we've watched our heroes struggle helplessly against immortal opponents who could regenerate from any damage. But here Gaban was able to shatter this invincibility entirely with just a single precise strike. What makes this even more incredible is the casual nature of the attack. Gaban didn't power up or announce some new technique, he simply moved with fluid grace and suddenly the immortal Holy Knight was bleeding and physically broken. The terror in Summer's reaction confirms what we had suspected. The Holy Knights have never encountered someone who could bypass their regeneration before. Now, before we dive into the rest of the video, I just want to let you all know that only 10% of the people who watch this content are subscribed to the channel. If you enjoy my One Piece breakdown videos, then definitely subscribe for more videos like this. Now let's get back to the topic of the video. In order to appreciate the significance of what Gaban had accomplished, we need to examine why traditional Haki has proven to be inadequate against immortal enemies. During the Egghead Island arc, Luffy unleashed everything in his arsenal against the Gorosei. Gear 5's reality warping abilities, advanced Conqueror's Haki coating, internal destruction techniques that should bypass any defense, yet despite landing all of these devastating blows, the 5 elders simply regenerated and had continued fighting. This wasn't a matter of insufficient power levels, as Luffy's Conqueror's Haki coating has proven capable of matching Kaido blow for blow. When even these peak level techniques fail to leave lasting damage, it suggests that the problem isn't the strength of the attack, but the fundamental nature of the target that the attack is being used against. What we are actually seeing here is the limitation of physical based attacks, even those enhanced by Haki. Traditional Haki operates within the realm of consciousness and physical domination. The regeneration powers of the Immortals appear to operate on a level beyond the physical. It is like that there is something within the essence of their core that remains untouched even after a considerable amount of physical damage, which allows them to return to perfect condition, suggesting that their immortality isn't just about enhanced healing, but a fundamental alteration of their very existence. The most important thing in order to understand Gaban's technique lies in recognizing that it operates on a spiritual level rather than a physical plane. While conventional Haki affects the body and mind, this advanced application targets what can only be described as the soul. This is a core of a living being's existence that transcends the physical form. This concept isn't entirely unprecedented, as Joy Boy's Haki release during Egghead didn't just overwhelm the guy through sheer force, it actually caused Emu thousands of miles away to experience genuine pain. This suggests that the Haki wasn't operating through normal physical channels, but rather through some deeper connection which transcends distance and matter. Similarly, Brook's encounters with Gunko revealed something fascinating about spiritual warfare. When the Holy Knight attempted to harm Brook, a being who exists primarily as a soul housed in bones, she experienced backlash that bypassed her regeneration entirely. This wasn't physical damage, but rather a direct assault on her spiritual essence. The mechanics likely involve channeling one's Conqueror's Haki not outwardly into the physical world, but through dimensional barriers that we don't fully understand. When Gaban strikes with this power, he isn't just cutting flesh and bone, he's severing the metaphysical threads that allow immortals to regenerate. If the soul itself bears wounds that don't heal, then regeneration becomes impossible. Oda here has created a perfect narrative parallel between Rayleigh's revelation of Haki and Gaban's demonstration of soul targeting techniques. Both moments represent solutions to seemingly insurmountable obstacles delivered by veteran members of the Roger Pirates at precisely the moment when hope seemed to be lost. Pre-timeskip, the Straw Hats faced Logia users, who could become effectively untouchable. Then came Subodi Archipelago, where Rayleigh casually demonstrated that Haki was the solution that had been hidden in plain sight. Now in the post-time skip era, we face immortal opponents whose regeneration makes conventional combat futile, and just as Rayleigh provided the answer to the Logia crisis, Gaban has revealed the solution to the immortality problem. It's amazing how the parallel is so incredible, as the right-hand man of Roger solved the mystery of the first half, while the left-hand man of Roger unveils the secret of the second half. This suggests that Oda's preference for revealing deeper layers of existing concepts rather than introducing completely new power systems. So these new soul-damaging techniques are not replacing Haki, but they represent the ultimate evolution of Haki. Gaban's technique connects to a concept Oda has been building throughout the post-time skip, and this is permanent Haki infusion. The Haki knot of Joy Boy ended up preserving spiritual energy for 800 years, Black Blades retained their enhanced properties indefinitely, and Odin's spiritual essence persists within Enma decades after his death. The poneglyphs have remained indestructible for centuries too, and likely this is due to Joy Boy permanently infusing each tablet with this spiritual energy. What connects these examples is permanence, Haki effects that don't fade when the user stops concentrating or even when they die. This suggests an advanced technique where spiritual energy becomes permanently bonded with its target. Gaban's attack on Summers represents the weaponization of this principle. Instead of temporarily coating his blade with Haki that dissipates after the strike, he permanently infused his opponent's spiritual essence with his own will. The damage that is sustained exists on a level beyond the physical plane and the reach of conventional immortality. Gaban's mastery of this technique stems from the unique knowledge possessed by the Roger pirates from their journey to Laugh Tale. As the only crew to uncover the complete truth of the Void Century, they learned about Joy Boy's true nature and the spiritual techniques that he had once mastered. The timing of their journey provided crucial context, as they knew that they were arriving too early and needed to prepare contingencies for Joy Boy's true successor. This kind of explains why Gaban had decided to settle on Elbaf, positioning himself to preserve dangerous knowledge and recognize Joy Boy's return. His relationship with Shanks takes on new significance in this context. The Redhead Emperor's visits weren't just social calls, but consultations with one of the few people who understood the true scope of the coming conflict. Gaban's demonstration of these new techniques reveals the next level of mastery that the Straw Hats need to achieve. For Luffy, this represents the culmination of his Haki development, as his Gear 5 form already demonstrates a strange relationship with reality's boundaries, suggesting natural suitability for techniques operating on multi-dimensional planes. Zoro's path likely connects to his quest for Black Blades. If permanent Haki infusion is the secret to creating these weapons, then mastering soul targeting techniques would solve both challenges at the same time. His experience with Enma has already begun preparing him for spiritual level combat. The training process will require more than conventional practice, as understanding techniques that affect souls demands philosophical and spiritual development alongside physical conditioning. Gaban's presence on Elbaf suggests he's positioned himself specifically to provide this training when the Straw Hats are ready to receive it. The reveal of soul-damaging Haki fundamentally changes One Piece's final saga. For the first time since their introduction, the Holy Knights and the Gorosei face opponents who can inflict genuine lasting damage against them. Their immortality has been revealed as conquerable through sufficient mastery. This transforms the final war from a seemingly hopeless struggle into a genuine contest now. The world government's elite forces must now contend with enemies possessing techniques capable of hurting them and permanently damaging them. The psychological impact of this cannot be understated, as immortals who realize that they can die now need to fight very differently. For the broader narrative of One Piece, this parable reveals the true nature of the Will of D and inherited will. If immortality can be overcome through soul-targeting techniques, then the Will of D carriers may possess special characteristics that make them uniquely capable of wielding power that transcends physical limitations. As we head towards the endgame of One Piece, the playing field has been fundamentally reshaped. The immortal enemies who appeared invincible now face opponents who can wound them permanently, as the Straw Hats finally have a clear path to victory in the war that will determine the world's fate. The age of immortal tyrants is truly ending, as the era of spiritual awakening has begun within One Piece. Now do let me know all of your thoughts about this soul-crushing new Haki technique that Gaban had demonstrated in the recent One Piece chapter. If there's anything that I've forgotten to mention, then let me know by continuing the discussion in the comments. And lastly, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next One Piece video.
A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.